Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Vybz Kartel gets first dose of AstraZeneca vaccine. Dancehall star Vybz Kartel was one of the approximately 30 inmates of the Horizon Adult Correctional Center to take the COVID-19 vaccine yesterday. Sources have confirmed that Kartel, whose given name is Adidja Palmer, was among the inmates who opted to take the vaccine. They took the AstraZeneca vaccine with the second dose schedule as usual, said the source. Last week, reporters understand that despite vaccines being available for all inmates in the correctional services, only about 10% have been vaccinated. At that time, sources reveal that more than 70% of the inmates had indicated an hesitancy to the vaccine. Correctional services officials have indicated that they were starting a drive in the prisons to urge inmates to accept the jab. Residents of 3 Miles River want permanent solution to flooding problem.
Even if we do not have a lot of rain in 3 Miles River, but it rains topside, the folks in 3 Miles River will still be affected. And this has been an ongoing problem for many years. So personally for me, I believe that a feasible study here needs to be done so that the situation can be corrected. I believe that if the authorities here are able to meet the water that is coming down there halfway, and to channel it somewhere else, because some of the time, when the volume of water that comes down, when it reaches here, the folks in 3 Miles River, also in Bath, have been really and truly affected, and my heart goes out for them.
In your division, there's a lot of persons, a lot of residents were affected by the flooding the other day, right?
Alright, what happened, I think the residents in 3 Miles River and some of them in Froome, that is the road below the police station. But some of the residents who were affected, it was based on where they were living at the time. During the heavy rain recently, the Cabarita overflowed, it's banks, and as a result, all of the water, even from the train at the Pan Caribbean, overflowed, and instead of going down, it came up, and as a result, the residents were affected. And personally for me, tomorrow morning, I am planning on going over by Pan Caribbean to have a dialogue with the CEO to see what can be done with their drains close to the residents so that we can have them clean. So if and when again we have another heavy downpour or so, things can really and truly be much better. But based on how the residents are saying it is not just a one time, they have been affected for a very long time now. And one of the things that amazes me, when we have these things, when we have these heavy showers of rain, based on the expression of the residents, it just appears that it just happened. They will be putting out that man, it is for many years. But as a councillor for the Froome division, I am very concerned about the residents, where they live, and the impact that they have when we have these heavy rains. So I am committed to the task, and I'm going to be writing to the minister and to the NAA, organizing a meeting so that a walkthrough can be done, so that they can provide their experts, so that a feasible study can be done, and once and for all, the problem can be solved.
Wouldn't this have been wise to clean the drains before the rainy season?
No, what happened? No. Some of the drains were cleaned before the rainy season, And if you notice now, even what we are doing right now, it's going to help a little, but the problem is still bigger than right here. So we need a solution once and for all.
Okay.
Because what happened, when it rains heavily, the water as far as we found, everything just come across.
Okay. So where else are you doing this kind of work currently?
Yesterday we did some work out by the Frome Main Road below the police station.
Okay.
Going on towards the factory. A lot of the grass was in the road. And what happened, there's a drain that runs from out of the property of the Pan Caribbean. It comes on the main road and then it sort of exits on the property of Pan Caribbean.
Okay.
I have dealt with that already. So a section on the property for the Pan Caribbean needs to be looked after, and that's one of the reasons also I'm going to be putting it to the CEO of Pan Caribbean when I go over there tomorrow.
Okay.
And also seeking assistance, and frankly, you know, as councillor for the Frome Division, I have a very, very good relationship with the management of Pan Caribbean, and they have been assisting us in the Frome Division and in other divisions here in Westmoreland. And I can tell you straight up, if it weren't for the assistance that we had gotten from Pan Caribbean maybe a couple months ago, things would have been worse, because most of the major drains outlets, they have already been cleaned by Pan Caribbean, and I just want to use this opportunity in picking them up and thanking them, and it has been a pleasure for me working with them over the years.
Okay. And how is all of this being funded?
Alright, some of this will be funded from the allocations I get from the parish council, and some also I had appealed to the member of parliament based on these critical areas, and as a result I'll be getting some assistance from the member of parliament.
Okay.
Mark Golding team pay wellness check on St. Anne's Bay Hospital. People's National Party PNP President Mark Golding and his team paid a wellness check and delivered masks and other supplies to the staff at the St. Anne's Bay Hospital on Thursday. The opposition leader was accompanied by Shalom Minister of Health and Wellness and Foreign Affairs Dr. Maurice Guy and Lisa Hanna, who is also the Member of Parliament for South East St. Anne. The party said the wellness check confirmed reports from healthcare workers and patients of a strained healthcare system as the third wave of the COVID-19 pandemic worsens. They expressed that over 50 staff members were out because of COVID-19, that nurses are finding it difficult to cope with a nurse-to-patient ratio of 1:15, and that many find it hard to travel to work during lockdowns as majority of them rely on public transportation. What we saw at St. Anne's Bay Hospital underscores the need to immediately implement the suggestion made by opposition spokesperson on finance Julian Robinson to use surplus funds to improve conditions at healthcare facilities island-wide, Dr. Guy stated. In his presentation at the PNP's media conference on Friday, August 28th, Robinson highlighted that the government had ended up with a surplus of $9 billion, having spent $7.5 billion less than it had projected. These funds, he argued, should be used to strengthen our capacity to respond to the worsening pandemic and make life easier for our vulnerable groups. Meanwhile, Hanna said that the St. Anne's Bay Hospital is too critical to the welfare and well-being of residents, and so the government needs to put resources in place to ensure the facility is able to adequately cater to residents. The opposition leader reiterated sentiments shared by both representatives and again called on the government to take action to safeguard the physical and mental health of healthcare workers as they face unprecedented challenges. It is concerning that some 99% of COVID-19 patients at St. Anne's Bay Hospital are unvaccinated. The team and I are recommitting our support of the vaccination program and encourage every Jamaican who is able to get vaccinated and continue to observe COVID-19 protocols, Golding stated. NWA to utilize lockdown period for roadworks across the island. The National Works Agency NWA has advised that it will be utilizing the no-movement periods to address some of the poor road conditions island-wide. The agency says it will be undertaking a series of patching activities on selected roads. Manager Communications and Customer Service at the NWA, Stephen Shaw, said that the patching program, valued at $320 million, will address some of the poor roads conditions owing to the recent passage of Tropical Storm Grace and Ida. He stated that at least 20 million will be spent in each parish and that roads in Portmore, St. Catherine have been given a special allocation under the program. The NWA also stated that it has written to the Police High Command with details of the works and the crews to be employed in the various areas in order to facilitate the smooth implementation. Persons who are not exempted under the Disaster Risk Management Act can be punished, hence the need for inclusion of the police by the NWA in the execution of the works, the release stated. The program is expected to be completed by the end of the month. Trelawney farmers cry for help after significant loss due to storm. Farmers in Limetree district of South Trelawney are pleading for assistance to get back on their feet after losing a significant amount of their produce during the recent back-to-back storms. I planted some yams recently. I was just about to get some yam stick to put in the field, but now I don't even know what I am going to do with the sticks because the entire middle of my farm sunk during the heavy rains, said the farmer Delvin Pito. Peter shared that the results of the thunderstorms have made him afraid to attend to his crops as he feared breaking a leg while going onto the land. If you see the crops, you would think it was an earthquake, and if you step on that piece of land, you might break your leg, so I am scared to step over there to take anything because I do not know the extent of the damage or how soft the soil is, he said. I don't know what I am going to do. Based on the extent of the damage, I might have to just cut off that side because when we get more rainfall, it might reoccur, Peter stated. Bradley Buckley, another lime tree farmer, reported that he lost the majority of his crops he was growing for sale during Tropical Storm Grace. I had 800 roots of hot pepper and I lost them. One and few are still left back, but most of them are broken down and mashed up. I also had 400 hills of yam and then blow down too. A whole lot of plantain and bananas mash up, said Buckle. Even the donkey he rides daily to the farm was not spared by the thunderstorms. I even lost a donkey, the rain killed it, Buckle shared. Though the farmer feels as if he has nowhere to turn to, he is asking for assistance to get his farm back on track as he is the sole breadwinner of the family. We don't have anybody to talk to, but we really need some assistance to get our farm back on track. I would appreciate some fertilizer, yam head, pepper sucker, or any little thing to plant. I wouldn't mind if somebody could come to my ground to look and see, to show that I am not lying, he said. Similarly, in the neighboring district of Low River, farmer Buster Johnson is pleading for assistance after losing his crops due to heavy rainfall. I lost a lot of my yams. I didn't count it, but the rain washed away most of my crops. I would really want some help with fertilizer and suckers because I have to start all over again, he said. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.